Justified City Primeval, Episode 8. This is probably my favorite episode of the series because even though it does have deviations, it still remains true to the book and true to just Elmore Leonard's overall writing style. We finally do get the showdown between Raylan Givens and Clement Mansell. We get to see the Albanians kind of make right on everything they were trying to do. Now, there was another deviation within the series. Luke Laraj, the Albanian that Sandy Stanton was messing with on Clement Mansell's behalf, he does not get killed by Clement in the book. This is something that they added to the series. But Clement Mansell getting locked inside Luke Laraj's safe room, that was something that was in the book. That was actually how the book got close to ending. And then this pretty much stays the same. Once Clement Mansell is locked up inside the safe room, in the book, Raymond Cruz does go back and lets Clement Mansell out, and then Raymond and Clement have their showdown, and Raymond Cruz ends up shooting Clement Mansell to death. This is a little different. Raylan locks up Clement, and then Luke Laraj goes back and accidentally unlocks Clement with the intention of trying to get his revenge for Clement breaking his leg in an earlier episode. After this showdown happens, Raylan and Clement end up having a showdown. Now, what was interesting is they didn't change the ending of the book. So when Raylan Givens actually meets with Raymond Cruz pretty much spoils the ending of the series earlier on in like episode 3. So pretty much the first 30 or 40 minutes of this episode is very aligned with the book. It's right on par. Now here is where the show deviates from the book, and this is how it goes back to being a Justified show and not just a City Primeval adaptation. This is the big spoiler. This is the big ending that everybody's been talking about. They finally brought back Boyd Crowder, and this time Boyd Crowder escapes. And so the ending of the series ends with Raylan Givens getting notified that Boyd has just escaped, and right after the end of the series shows Raylan Givens has retired and he's just been notified that Boyd Crowder has escaped, and we see that he's considering rejoining the force to find Boyd. Now, on one hand, I do like that they brought Boyd Crowder back, but I do think it is a bit of a disservice to both Boyd and both the original Justified series. I felt Raylan and Boyd had the perfect ending of just saying we dug hole together, which was right aligned with the fire in the whole book. So now we've brought back Boyd and he's escaped, and it's going to turn into this big cat and mouse game, but I thought that was a little silly. Other issues I had with this series is that Raylan Givens had been involved with Detroit quite a bit. And we really didn't get to see anybody that he had seen earlier. I would have loved to see Robert Quarles come back with just one arm. I would have loved to see anybody from the Detroit or the Dixie Mafia come back. I would have loved to see people mentioning Win Duffy. There was a lot of Detroit people that could have been mentioned in this series that could have had Raylan Givens trying to balance his Justified past with his City Primeval present. That would have been a really interesting thing. So unfortunately, some of the writing did take a hit there. Overall, I can definitely see they were setting up for a season 2. We'll probably get notified within a couple of weeks of whether it gets renewed or not. But overall, the series was fine enough for what it was. I'm probably going to do a review of the series as a whole. But overall, this was my favorite episode, as I said earlier.